So I am currently in a new filming location. Not my car right now. Really beautiful place, actually. I'm traveling and still making time to do videos. Excited about that. Just having a fun time. In this video, I want to explore more so like the last decade of my life in terms of relationships and my own capacity to step into the unknown in terms of letting go of people and just moving on and stuff. Um, my relationships over the course of a decade, and specifically earlier on in the decade, um, were not healthy. They were not, in terms of both platonic and romantic. And what I really want to talk about is the experience of letting go, because letting go and moving into a new era of life, letting go of relationships specifically, because I would say that relationships are one of the biggest things that kind of contribute to, comfort and familiarity, especially when they're based in familial energy. And you might be looking at your relationships and you might be like, I've spent a lot of time doing that, more so in the past like 5 to 7 years at this point. Um, and I would argue, based on my own experiences, that it can be challenging to let go of people, right? Because of that element of comfort and familiarity that comes with it, right? You feel like maybe if you let go of this person, then you don't know if you're going to find anybody else. You don't know if you're going to find new friends. A lot of people, they have fears that, with adulthood comes a massive challenge of, making new friends and everything. And there were times when I kind of was in a transitional path of just kind of like limbo in terms of platonic relationships. Like I had let go of people and everything. Um, and I was kind of I felt alone. It's like should I not have let go of that person? Should I not have let go of that person or those people? Right? Um, what I have to say based on my own experience is that you don't have to let go of people, but it's highly beneficial to do so, especially if when I say you don't have to let go of people, what I'm really trying to speak to is you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. If what you feel is a massive amount of fear and that to step into the unknown in terms of, you know, potentially choosing better for yourself. A lot of people stay the same. They stay stuck inside of the same relationships, whether platonic or romantic, because they actually believe that they can't find better for themselves out there. And maybe you have somebody in your life that is um, leading you to believe that they are the best that you can do. And that's likely because they feel like absolute shit about themselves and they're trying to isolate you from the rest of the world. And so they keep you away from it. And that's just the reality of it, right? Um, my own experience is it's highly beneficial to let go of people, especially if they're toxic. If you have somebody in your life who's just like a complete fucking shit show, like a dumpster fire, like a train wreck of a human, and like you actually find yourself like responsible for them, which you're not, at all. Like you might have people in your life that um, you feel responsible for. Um, that's actually something to look at on your own. You know, why do you feel so responsible for them? It's important to look at. Um, maybe that has to do with something that you need to look deeper at for yourself. Maybe that has to do with something from your childhood. I would bet it does. Um, it's just so fascinating because, like, in my own experiences, I've had some very, I've had some very serious shitheads in my life, like total fuck faces. Um, and even with that, I was scared to like step into the unknown and choose differently and like actually cut off them, even though they were being toxic. I was scared to. I was like, but what if I don't find anybody else? And then at that point, like even if you don't find anybody else, which I highly doubt anybody would not find anybody else, even if it takes years, um, enjoy your own presence, enjoy your own company. That's really what this is all about. It's really just about like learning that you can be fine with yourself and by yourself. Um, it's just so fascinating because I really want to step into the territory of my own experiences and looking at how that has kind of transformed. When I first started cutting people out, it started with, friends. It started the platonic way. Um, I wouldn't say that I ever really like cut anybody out romantically. It was kind of hard for me to break things off with romantic partners. But looking at like friendships and everything, um, I was concerned that I wasn't going to be able to find new friends. And what I have to say is that if there is at least one person in your life that you consider your friend that is clearly unhealthy, that is toxic, um, that you see as a liability, right? A distraction from your life. If you are scared to let go of this person or multiple people like this, I understand. I've been there. Absolutely. And what I have to say is that it's best if you can cut them out, cut them off, and let go of them because what you really need is space for yourself to realign with yourself. If they are an unhealthy individual, there's a high likelihood that you've done things for them that you didn't want to do. Maybe because you were people pleasing, right? It's a real thing. It's a very real thing. I've had experience with that. But that potentially uncomfortable space, that space of feeling vulnerable, of feeling like you don't really have a place to stand or a place to walk. You feel like you're potentially floating in space in this unknown, you know, abyss of darkness, and maybe that's what you're avoiding in continuing to allow people that really more so fill a void without contributing anything, because people do that all the time. People fill voids. They you know it's like, say for instance, water has no substance in it, which is not true, right? But a container is empty and you fill that container up with water, right? The water has no substance in it, right? Toxic and unhealthy friends, and I'm going to go even a step further with this. um, Toxic and unhealthy friends are kind of like that water with no substance that you're just using to fill something up. But to go a step further, it's even more unhealthy than that because not only do they not have any substance, but they're actually taking away from you because they have these toxic traits, you know? And that's a distraction to your life. And so, in my own experiences, um, I've let go of people. I've cut people out of my life. Um, and I've also had people that I cut out try to, no names, of course, no names. I don't do that. But I've had people that I cut out try to get back in contact with me. And it's like, no, 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 no. You had your chance. Um, but the cool thing is, um, there are there are a couple people in my life now that are like new territory for me, and it's really exciting. It's really exciting. And it's like oh, I cut those other people out to make space for these people. Yeah, that's what's up. That's awesome, right? And so that transitional period between, friendships where it's like, all right, well, there was this person, now there's not, and you know, my encouragement is to allow yourself, like you'll probably look back on your life at this point from an older self point and be like, oh wow, it was really good that I let that person out, or that I let go of that person and cut them out of my life, because these people are now in my life and I needed to make space in my life for these people. Oh, and not only that, but I can actually grow with these people, right? The other people that were in my life were like stagnated, and not only stagnated, but a distraction for me and trying to pull me down, right? When you have toxic people in your life, they're not going to build you up. They're going to take you the exact opposite way. And that's just the reality of it. And I've experienced that, right? Now I have people that want to see me win. And that's the difference. And it's the best fucking difference in the world.